My name's Anita English, and I live in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. I'm 63 years old, and I believe I am the eldest nurse on staff at residential. I decided to become a nurse, I think, probably when I was a child. It was just something I always wanted to do. One day I woke up and said, I think I'll go work in the neonatal intensive care unit, to which all my friends said, have you lost your mind? Why are you going to make that kind of a transition? I sometimes think it was just divine intervention. We were called to a stat C-section, and a little boy was delivered. He obviously had a lot of issues physically. He had severe club feet. He was very floppy. He did not have any muscle tone. He was subject to pneumonia, could not breathe on his own. He would vomit constantly. He could not hold any weight on. So they put in a feeding tube. We don't know. He could end up blind. He could end up deaf. They just gave me this list of could-be's. But he would grab your finger with that right hand of his, and you just knew there was more there. And I was his primary nurse for several weeks. He had a really rough way to go. But we did what we always do. I always sing happy birthday to them when they're on the warmer, no matter how big they are. I just fell in love with him. Mom was not capable of taking care of him. She just didn't have, that capacity. So he was then placed on the foster care list. We couldn't find an appropriate foster family for him. And I couldn't stand the thought of him going somewhere and never knowing what happened to him, And I just felt like I would die if the thought of him sitting in a corner somewhere, just laying in a crib, was more than I could take, so. I brought him home as my foster child. Eventually, he became eligible for adoption, and I adopted him. I was terrified that something was going to happen to him, because we don't know how long he's going to live. He could have a sudden cardiac event and die. And I got past that, and it was just all I wanted to do was make whatever life he had. I just wanted him to know he was loved. Just whatever life he had, I wanted it to be happy. One of the social workers and a couple of the doctors, they were very, you really don't want to take this on. We don't know, how long he's going to live. He's never going to sit up. I always knew he could do more than they said he could. I just knew that was the right thing to do. When other people saw what I was doing, some of them thought that I had lost my mind. I was 50 years old. My youngest was a junior in college. We loved to go to the park and sit in the rocking chairs. And he's just there. He's not worried about what's going on at home, or he forces you to be in the moment. And that's why when people say, oh, he's so lucky to have you, I say, I'm actually the lucky one, because he's taught me unconditional love, acceptance. He's taught me how to make the most of every day, to appreciate going for a walk, to just the simple things.
Pushing. Well,
I've been at residential 6 years in October, and I'm just taken back by how family-oriented the company is, how when Donald was so sick in the hospital, how they were so supportive. The people who work there want to make a difference, and that's what I love about it more than anything. I mean, it's not a job for them, and they just want to make a difference. They just want to help people.
We're going riding. Are you going to ride Henry? Good job. Hold on. Good job. Yay! That's my boy. Yay!
When he was in the NI, I would always, pat his bottom and lean over the warmer and sing to him, "You are my sunshine." To this day, he just chills right out no matter what's going on. He has a lot of social anxiety. If he's at the doctor's and he's getting a little bit hysterical, if I start singing that to him, he calms right down. He doesn't care how bad my voice is. Uh-oh, what did you do? I can't imagine my life without him in it. Ready? Hold on his neck. It just was meant to be. He was
right,
brought into my
going.
life for a reason,
Already? Ready to run?
and he makes my life so much, so I just can't imagine my life without him.